Welcome to the Left in the South podcast, episode 27. And today we're going to be trying out a new format where we look at the agenda and then we, of course, go straight into that content.
Straight into the content. Hell yeah, I'm excited. What's on the agenda, David?
Michael Brooks. We're going to be talking about how Rick Scott wants to send his grandchildren to distance learn instead of sending to schools in Florida. We're going to be talking about how Trump says wearing a face mask is patriotic after, not wanting to wear a face mask. More on Portland kidnappings, federal agents in Chicago, the AOC bill requiring federal agents to identify themselves while on duty. And also, speaking of AOC, people are very upset with her for implying that perhaps poverty has something to do with rising crime in New York, the black militia in Louisville, Kentucky, and Chris Wallace dunking on Trump, and Biden declining an interview from Chris Wallace, and how aliens are motherfucking real. And we recently made a Discord for the Left in the South community. If you're wanting to see what we're up to on a daily basis, and you might even catch us in here sometimes, just chilling. We made a new Discord invite on Twitter if you're interested in that. And I want to thank our patrons, Grunt980, Xeon, El Panda, and one of our new patrons, James. We appreciate your support greatly, as always.
But first, a message from Left in the South podcast.
So today we have a question from our fan, and he says, David, what can I joke about these days? It seems like if you like edgy humor, you'll get canceled on Twitter. And today I'll be answering that burning question that you have. What can you joke about? Webster Dictionary defines humor as something that is or is designed to be comical. And under no circumstances should you ever make fun of minorities or anyone. If you want to make fun about 9/11, you can only do so after the date. You should avoid making fun of the following people: African Americans, Latino people, Asian people. And finally, racist jokes aren't funny. So, Michael Brooks. It's unfortunate that he passed away, a fellow comrade. And Left in the South sends their, we welcome any fans if they want to grieve, and they can hit us up, talk to us about it.
Yeah, honestly, he's a kind of a legend, in the leftist content creating world. So It's really sad to see him go. It's really terrible how young he was, and it's definitely not helping my hypochondria, how I'm afraid that I'm going to die all the time, because he really died way too young. And yeah, like David said, we're super sad to hear it, and our hearts go out to all of them, all of the fans and the family.
Yeah, dude, speaking of thinking about dying all the time, I don't know why. I don't know if this is just me, and I don't know if it's morbid or not, but every time I go to sleep, that's a thought that always comes to mind. Dude, I could just die in my sleep. If I go to sleep right
really?
now.
Does it
sometimes it doesn't happen all the time.
Anxious, or
I mean, I think about it and I'm
okay with it?
I think about it, if I die in my sleep, there's nothing I can do about it. So why should I worry about it?
I mean, fair enough.
I'm mostly worried about whoever finds a dead body in the morning.
True. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think if I thought about that every night before I went to sleep, I would unironically have a panic attack on a daily basis. Actually, it's very terrifying to me.
Yeah, I don't know, but I think the reason why I'm not as anxious about it is because I have high hopes that beyond death that there's something, that there's hopefully something else. But but there's no, you can only find out if you fucking die. So
truly, yeah. So hopefully Michael Brooks is kicking it wherever he is.
I hope he's in a fucking communist utopia where he's at now.
Yep. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah.
Yeah. But what I want to get into, I just wanted to, it was a short Michael Brooks thing. Some other things that we could talk about. Some horrible takes other people have. But to get off that, Rick Scott. So I don't know if you know who Rick Scott is, Dougley, but he is the governor of Florida. And he has said some things that people are very upset about. Have you heard about it? Like this what he said?
I heard that, like, I think he's a senator, by the way.
Oh, is he a senator? Did I
Yeah,
say?
I think he's...
I mean senator, governor, senator.
Yeah. I knew what you meant. I just wanted to correct it for the listeners because they need help. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But no, I definitely heard that he was like talking some mad shit about like people implying that the U.S. needed to like close up and not open schools in the upcoming fucking thing. But I mean, other than that,
Daddy Trump, is saying that, we need to open up schools, and if you're not sending your kids to school, the government ain't giving you any money.
Yeah. No, I heard that.
And, obviously, fellow Republicans, they bend the knee to Trump. So,
of course.
Of course, any other Republican senators, of course, they want to send the kids to school as well. But interesting enough is that Rick Scott, his grandchildren will not be going to school. They'll be doing distance learning, which is which is really fucked up to me. So they know that sending the kids will be bad. So, but they do it anyway, dude. These people do these things knowing that it's bad. Yet they do it to their own citizens. Why do you think they do that? Do you think I think it's fucked that some people is that they do it and like they might be clueless, but clearly Rick Scott knows.
Yeah. I mean, just the fact that I don't know, it's just crazy. Like, seeing this unfold before your eyes, like he's actively saying, "Oh no, we have to open schools at any cost, no matter what." It's like, of course, because you can send your kids to whatever fucking ritzy private school you want to send them to.
I'm surprised he didn't just lie like most conservative Republicans do.
Yeah, exactly. Why not?
Yeah, just fucking lie, dude. Why did you tell the truth? No one would have known. Like, the story would have been dead when the school opens up. By the time school opens up. So, why not just fucking lie?
Yeah, exactly. Like, you have nothing to lose by not telling the truth, and no one would know. But no, I mean, Republicans love telling on themselves, man, because they literally don't see the hypocrisy. They don't see it.
Yeah, but unfortunately, while the rest of the Floridian children will be getting corona and getting it to their grandparents and them unfortunately passing away from corona, Rick Scott will be fine and dandy, noting that his grandchildren will be corona-free.
Yes, indeed, which is really a shame, to be honest. I've heard there's been many studies recently, and this is a lot of conservatives are using this as reasons that kids should go to school. Basically, what the studies are saying is kids probably they're not big drivers of the virus. And what that means is if kids did return to school, it probably wouldn't cause a lot of kids to die, but the kids would bring it home and infect their parents, and they would infect their grandparents, and then those people would get really sick, and they would actually they have the potential to be seriously injured or die. Yeah, and it's okay, yeah, sure, the kids aren't going to die, which is nice. Yeah, but there's other issues here.
Yeah, Rick. I mean, conservatives, they love using data to prove their point, but they just throw up numbers without contextualizing it. Yeah. So exactly. They know that look at the studies show that children they shouldn't be really worrying about coronavirus, right? But it's then they stop there, and then that's it. But fucking life goes on, bro. The fucking sun comes down, the moon comes up. That kid's gonna go home, and he's gonna give it to his parents. He's gonna give it to other siblings, family members, older family members who are at risk.
Exactly. It's not even like a chess game. You don't need to think 20 moves ahead, bro.
You just need to think the next turn.
Exactly. Turn. You can clearly see the connection, the instant connection between the kids and their parents and their grandparents. It's a one-way fucking street. How do you not understand? And obviously the answer is obviously he does. Understand. He does. They don't care. Exactly. Don't care. Yes.
And whether it's because they have a monetary incentive, I mean, who knows? But probably.
I don't know. But
most likely.
But are you attending class in person this semester, David?
No, I've tried to do my best to schedule online-only classes, but I didn't really I hope I did, is what I'm trying to say.
I have 3 out of my 5 classes are in person, and
Oh yeah, shit, damn.
I'm petitioning my school to let me take them online because I don't want to take it online. I feel like it's an unnecessary risk. And yeah, I've literally been in regular contact with my school's like board of trustees and like a bunch of people that make decisions everywhere. Every time I send them emails or call them, all they tell me is like, "We understand your concern. We really appreciate your comment." And that's it. And I never hear anything back. It's fucking annoying, dude.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, that's all you fucking get, bro.
Yeah.
It's fucked because, you know, places of like education, they're supposed to be a safe haven for young adults and students,
Yeah.
right? But what's going on? This fucking plague that is ruining our nation. This is something that you can't escape.
Yeah,
Like
exactly. And this is supposed to be the place where I'm allowed to have faith that my fellow student is going to have faith in like the scientific process. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be like there. I understand that there are some people out there that just deny science. They're anti-intellectual, but we're at a fucking university. Like how is it that these university officials are that? That really just seems incompatible to me, you know?
And like you have like scams like Harvard who like the cost of the online learning is the same as the in class.
That's exactly how mine is, man.
And it's ridiculous.
That's why they kept the campus open, even at great risk of the students and their families, is because they're able to charge full tuition. I think they cut it by like all they did was not increase the tuition. Like normally every year they increase it by a certain percentage, which just at the very face of is insane to me because it's already so expensive. But this year all they did was not increase it. And they're like, well, you know, considering
we did
Corona,
all we could.
Yeah, exactly. That was what they were saying. It's insane.
Yeah, it's definitely a fucked situation, and it's funny too because they're opening up with, you know, record. You know, we're breaking records every fucking day. You know, as the United States, hey, always on top, baby, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
But we closed at like under 10K, you know, cases.
Right. Yeah, and you know things are getting serious because like I mean just like from the month of January until, you know, just this month, Trump has been constantly saying like, "Oh, face masks are bullshit. We need to open the country right away. The economy is suffering. People are dying." And then, you know, famously, he recently was wearing a face mask, and now he's changing his tone completely, saying like, I can't do an impression of him. I'm sorry, but like he's saying, "I was always for face masks." Yeah, I was always for face masks. I knew. I had the best news, folks. I knew.
Let me tell you,
masks were good.
Wearing a face mask is the most patriotic thing you could do.
Like, forget about it. Yeah.
Yeah, for real. I mean, hopefully, like this, you know, the cult following that is Trump supporters, that they see this and they're like, you know what? I'm a goddamn American. I fucking goddamn love this country so much that I'm gonna wear a face mask.
Hell yeah. You know what? I'm gonna say it. If that works, if Trump saying that works, I'll take it, man.
Yeah, I'll take it too. I will take it. But it's very fucking ridiculous, though, that he's like, why? Like, you've waited so long to wear the face mask, and you're doing it now.
I think it's because of polling. I think his polling is kind of dropping a little bit.
True, dude. Sleeper Joe Biden is fucking on the up and up, leading in most polls in the United States by like 8 points.
Yeah. Yep. He's actually doing really well. And the crazy thing to me is I think that if it weren't for coronavirus, perhaps Trump would actually be winning like insanely right now. You know what I mean? Because if you look at the timeline of his approval among Republicans and among just any voter,
crapped the bed in March, right?
It demolished itself over the past like 5 to 6 months, you know? So I seriously wonder if Corona never happened, what it would look like right now.
Dude, if Corona never happened, bro, we'd be looking at Bernie would still be in it, babe.
You think?
For sure. I mean,
who knows,
sure,
man?
Dude. Like, and there'd be way more like debates. You know, Joe Biden wouldn't be scared to come out, dude, because he'd have to.
True. It's a whole different timeline. We splintered off when the first bat like got infected with Corona or whatever. We really we splintered into a new reality.
Yeah, for sure. There's probably a pre-Corona David. You know, he's probably having a very successful podcast. You know.
Sure, dude. Just like
Six
us, right?
packs.
Yeah. But I mean, speaking of like different timelines,
Mm.
I want to recommend on the show just as a anecdote this German series on Netflix I've been watching called Dark. It's
Oh yeah,
very
I saw you've
very
been
interesting.
recommending this. Oh, what's so good about the show?
I don't want to say too much because it's like a mystery and I don't want to give anything away. But
Mm,
it's like a time. It has a time travel element to it, and
mm.
it's very mind fucky. And I think that's all I want to say. But it's also in German, and I like German. It
Oh
sounds
really?
cool.
It's
So
like
yeah,
English subtitles or something?
yeah. You can listen to it dubbed in English if you want. But this is not an ad. I'm not paid by them. I just thought it was a cool
Not
show.
sponsored
Yeah,
yet.
they should though. Not yet.
Mm, yeah,
Oh yeah,
but
but what was next on the docket?
uh,
The Portland
we
kidnappings.
were talking about more about the Portland kidnappings. Uh,
Yes.
you know,
Things have evolved since last time.
yeah, have they? Explain.
Well, the states where it happened, basically, like now we know that all the government officials had no idea, they weren't collaborating and stuff. And I think which mayor was it? Mayor of Portland,
Yeah, Mayor of
maybe there was.
Portland.
Yeah, said that he would sue any like federal agency that was deploying like troops to their area. And I think Trump threatened now after the Portland kidnapping happened. Trump basically has threatened to use the secret police all across the country. I think he mentioned Chicago specifically,
Mm.
right?
Chicago,
Yeah,
yeah, that's next in the docket. Chicago now has federal agents, and
right.
uh, God, I think it's the mayor of Chicago is also denouncing these federal agents as well.
Yeah. I mean, what do you do when like this local
Yeah, I want to
governments
talk
like
about
denounce it?
fascism. So, not Grunt. Sorry, I got one of our friends on the line. I guess Trump. Trump is a fascist, but that doesn't
Yeah,
mean that America is a fascist country, right? But what you
yeah,
have to relieve is what I'm scared about is Trump going to accept the results of the 2020 election? And
what do
honestly,
you
like I'm
think?
getting scared that these fellow agents, his Gestapo, is now being released into all these cities, all the major cities that he wants to deploy them.
Yeah.
Right. And I
What do you
think
think that that's a legitimate mechanism by which that he could remain in power indefinitely, like using secret police? Do you think that he could actually circumvent like the Constitution of the United States?
I don't think the military will allow Trump to coup
Right.
the government. So like I think the military removed them. So like that's like the only thing. Like I don't think the military will turn on like will basically go against the its own country.
Yeah. I mean, not to skip ahead, but we're gonna touch on this Chris Wallace interview a little bit in the future. And
Mm.
I think in that interview he mentioned
We can talk
directly.
about Chris Wallace now since we're talking about Trump. It'll
Okay,
probably
yeah, fuck it. Let's talk about it then. In that
flow better.
interview, doesn't Chris Wallace like specifically ask Trump if he would
Mm.
accept the
Yes.
election results, and he
And
responds with,
yeah, we'll
well,
see.
you gotta
We'll
admit
see.
the polls are pretty bullshit. Yeah,
Yeah, fake
like
news.
exactly. And he's not saying no,
No, yeah,
but he's
which is
basically saying like,
maybe.
yeah,
Oh, man.
exactly.
We'll
Like
see. We'll see.
in other words, if he loses, then obviously no, he's not gonna accept it. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's very
He's
weird.
like, I'm not, I'm not a good loser.
Yeah.
I'm a
No, I'm
winner.
not graceful at all. What does that mean, Donald? What exactly do you mean by that?
Dude, I
I
feel
don't
like he
know.
wanted to say, he's like, no, I'm not gonna accept it.
Yeah.
Like
I
he
don't
wanted
think
to,
that
but he
we've
couldn't say
reached.
it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think that we've reached that point really, David. Like I think you're implying that like
A
perhaps he might
fascist.
actually be able to do that. I think that
Mm.
even like the most like there are some fascists that obviously would like it. But I
Mhm.
think that even most centrist like Republicans, like right-leaning conservatives, just kind of right-leaning, libertarians maybe you might call them. I don't think that they would be okay with it, honestly. Like I think
Mm.
that even those shitheads have like a breaking point,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Caitlyn Bennett would love it.
Oh yeah, she would fuck me. She would love it. She would be full of it. She would be
No
shitting her
Nazi.
pants so hard out of love.
Oh yeah.
Is it okay to
Fuck.
say that? Is that like a because she like shit her pants at a party, and like someone took a picture of her while she was unconscious. Is that okay to joke about? I mean, I don't give a fuck because she's a fascist.
Definitely okay to joke about. No Nazi. Literally, a known Nazi actually used like the triple parentheses. Yeah, like unironically, like
she is a full blown fascist. Yes.
Yeah, and like this is something like us leftists, we love saying like conservatives, fucking Nazis. What's the fucking difference, right? But you have to look at things like Tucker Carlson's like top writer, Nazi. Right. Keelan Bennett, who's a conservative liberal Nazi. Right. Yeah. These people. It's
weird how they're all surrounded by Nazis, huh?
And like Caitlin Bennett, is associated with Infowars, if I'm not mistaken. That's correct, right?
I think she's with Liberty Hangout, but it's like an adjacent.
Yeah, that's like under outlet. Yeah. But basically, like these, you have to see like these Nazis. They're they hang out with these conservatives,
Yeah, for sure.
And that's something you have to worry about. That's something you have to worry about.
Yep. And that's why it's okay to shit talk Nazis. Who cares?
Yeah. Fuck Nazis.
Bully them. Psychologically damage them.
There's nothing wrong with fucking up a Nazi.
What's the difference between bullying a Nazi and punching a Nazi or killing one? No difference.
Zero. Yeah, but
actually, one's better. I think bullying them is actually better. Like bullying a Nazi and like making fun of them is actually better, because then at least if they feel enough shame, they'll change their mind and we won't have to kill them.
Deep platforming. This is something I want to talk about. We're talking about the Chris Wallace dunking Chris Wallace absolutely dunked on Trump, which is surprising. Dude. I want to get more into that, but this tangent I want to get into is how important I think it is. Like, I think that bullying people and like ostracizing people, like you want these Nazis to fear ostracization, so they don't fucking act like. Because I think there is a difference. So when someone's like a racist, but they don't act on those racist, like thoughts, right? Yeah. That's good, because they don't affect those people in society, right? And when they show their racist colors, fucking a white nationalist, or like they're doing something fucking just weird, right? So you stop that shit, and then they feel bad, and then they maybe they might never fucking do it again in fear of being ridiculed.
Exactly. If there's a person with racist beliefs who's too afraid to act on them because society will denounce them, that means it's working.
It's working.
That means it's working.
Yes, dude.
That's exactly what we want.
Yes, Nazis, fucking people on the right, dude. They say that deplatforming doesn't work, dude, but fucking it works, and they're scared of the cancel culture, and they should be.
Yes, they should.
And they should be. Yeah. But anyway, but I was surprised that Chris Wallace absolutely dunked on Trump.
He went hard. Like, he never
this was on Fox News.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Dude, Trump, went off on Fox, too. I don't know if you watched the whole interview, but at one point he was like, yeah, Fox News, you guys used to be so good, but now you guys are just trash like the rest of them. He literally just shits all over them. Yeah. He's like, back in the day, I forget what he said, but he mentions a host I guess he was a fan of.
Yeah, when he left.
Back in his days, it was actually good. It was so funny, man. So I like how Chris Wallace never let up. Like, every time Trump said some dumbass shit, Chris Wallace was like,
he pulls out a fucking chart. So if
he pulled out a chart.
Fucking
he pulled out a chart.
So if you look at this chart right here, it's like, damn, this dude was ready. I thought it was so funny. There's parts in the interview where Trump's like, he would say something. He's like, all right, give me the graph, give me the. Someone.
He's like, we're not continuing. Look it up on your iPhone. I need you to pull this up. Anyway,
he wants to get out of his chair. He wants to get out of his chair. Grab his binder. Get me this fucking paper.
Trump pulls out his iPhone, puts on his reading glasses, and starts reading fucking FBI crime stats. Despite being only 14% of the population.
Yeah, literally.
Anyway,
unironic 1350.
Yeah. God.
But
I recommend everyone go listen to that interview, because
it's like 40 minutes, but worth it.
Yeah, worth it. And I want to mention, I also think that out of all of Trump's interviews, it's one of the most concerning, in the sense that he outright uses a lot of like fascist rhetoric in this interview. Like, I think he directly responded to the federal agents in Portland, and I think because isn't this where he mentioned Chicago with the federal agents?
Yeah, how he's gonna be rolling that shit out.
Right, and he justified it, and he justified also like jailing protesters during this interview, saying like, yeah, and if people start protesting and rioting and stuff, they're all going to go to jail for like 10 years or whatever. It's terrifying. I mean, like, it's true fascism right before our very eyes, and in the open.
Be cautious about and know about.
For sure.
But I think do you think that like Republicans are trying to move themselves away from Donald Trump, or like this Fox News interview is like, okay, they're stepping away from him? You don't think so?
I think that they're trying to I think that they're trying to distance themselves from Trump the man without casting aside Trump's platform, because I think that they understand and they realize how popular Trump's like agenda actually is, how many racist people there actually are in this country, and how many conservatives there actually are. They see that. They don't want to lose those people. But Trump himself is kind of a liability,
He's a wild card.
Yeah, so if they can manage to maintain the racist conservative ideals that Trump represents without Trump himself, I think they would do it in a heartbeat.
One thing I worry about too, about the Trump like wanting to stay in the office, is because that like he kind of needs the presidency, or else like he's no longer safe anymore. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Like, Iran is fucking coming for his ass, they're fucking coming for his ass. So like the only way to protect himself is to stay in the office.
Yeah, unless the next president is me, I don't think anyone's gonna be extraditing him to any foreign countries anytime soon. You know what I mean?
I mean, you don't need to fucking dude. I literally am picturing it. I think I said it. The fucking van rolls up. He's walking on him. Yeah, and fucking take his ass, dude.
Holy shit, that would be so funny. And like the TSA agent that's like checking him, Donald's like, please help me. They're capturing me. But it's like a black guy, and he just lets him get captured. True, dude. That would be so epic. Imagine being like, just being that TSA agent and just being able to just do to them what they did to us. You know what I mean? God, that would be so fucking nice. True. Anyway. But I wanted to talk about the Portland kidnappings a little bit, about the fact that, what do you think is going to happen when someone just fucking opens fire on one of these like unmarked feds? I mean,
it's definitely a possibility, but I don't know if you're a protester out there. I don't know. It's really hard for me to see someone shooting at a known federal agent and yeah, okay, so I think we've had a long discussion off pod about this very subject, and what I came down to, or my thoughts on it were that I don't think in the moment that is something someone would rationally think they should do, but I think we all agree morally that you should probably kill a fucking Gestapo federal agent, right?
Yeah. Exactly. I think that's my take on it too. Like, I think that ultimately we came to this conclusion together. Like, we agree that like shooting them in self-defense is morally probably okay, but like if you do that, you're fucking dead. You need to be prepared to die. Yeah, like if you're doing that shit,
because you're taking the risk of like his boys in the unmarked vehicle taking out their fucking ARs and spraying you down
and just fucking gadding you.
Just being imagine, on the list forever.
Right. And all the liberals in this country are not going to come to your aid. Like, people are not going to support you, neither rhetorically or physically. Like, people are going to unironically say this person was a terrorist. No matter. Right. Exactly. So like, you have to not only be prepared to die, but be prepared to die for practically nothing. I mean, because people are not going to come to your defense. Yeah, which is fucked up. I mean, I would come to your defense, but who am I?
And I think like if you have these ideals, you are more useful to us alive than dead.
Right. I agree. I think that you're far more valuable as an organizer than you are as like a lone gunman just like defending. It's defense. It's self-defense. No one disagrees with that. Like, it is self-defense, but rather you get abused and arrested for a few hours than for you to fucking die. You know what I mean? As sad as that is to say.
Yeah. And I think that takes us to the black militia in Louisville. You know, they are
Louisville.
Louisville. I mean, what's the difference? Yeah.
There is, anyway.
Words are just something we made up, dude.
I actually don't think I caught up with this. What is this about? What black
it's
militia?
the black nationalist group.
The new Black Panthers, right?
Yeah. No, I think these people would call themselves, what was that? We fucking mean business. What was it?
Oh no, yeah, not fucking around.
No, not fucking around.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're like a subsect of the new
not
Black
fucking
Panthers.
Around coalition.
Yeah,
and black nationalist militia.
Yeah, so keyword black nationalists. To our astute listeners, you may have heard me say new Black Panthers and been like, oh, that must mean they're good. No, they're not good. They are black nationalists, like fascist ethnostaters that are LARPing as like guns rights people, you know? So that's kind of annoying.
Yeah, so basically is like you might think these people are your allies, but these people unironically agree with segregation by race, right? They think that so basically, let me run it down for you on how they think reality works. So they think that since there's race, you know, let's give the example of white people and black people. So they think that since there is other races, is that there will always be racial tensions between these two groups, no matter how the laws are made, no matter like how society is. They also think people are inherently evil, and that like there will always be racial tension, and that the only solution to that racial tension is to divide them. And you know, align the government. So basically, they're on the sides of these Nazis and these white nationalists because they both agree.
They are a convenient ally for Nazis and white nationalists to, be like, yeah, look at us, we love black people. But then the black people that they love are the ones
like,
that
I love black
all want to
people.
Leave. Yeah,
like every black person I've taught, every black, community leader, like they like to say, like, the black leader, like, you know.
Yeah,
like,
and they don't mention that it's leaders from the Nation of Islam, not an actual black person from like down the street, you know? It's just some random
and it's so weird
guy.
that they say things like, oh, like these black community leaders. It's like, do you think, like, who do you think is like the Hispanic community leader? Like, it's kind of hard to think like that there's, you know, a select group of people who speak for all race, you know, all people, like every person of that race.
It's totally tokenism. I mean, like, it's literally that. You see it very often with this speaker Candace Owens. I don't know if you're familiar with her, but she's a black, like Tom, she's a young, she's an Uncle Tom for sure, dude. I mean, she's like a young, attractive black woman who has like fully bought into the conservative media like racket of like, you know,
super
fucking
wealthy.
Just hating other black people, like total just self-hating fucking person.
And she
it's really
unironically use like 1350.
Yeah, right.
And
she makes the same arguments that literal racist Nazi dog whistlers use, but she means it unironically. It's hilarious. It's not hilarious. It's disgusting.
Like, yes, another black person was killed by a cop, but have you realized that? Isn't it weird that despite being only 13% of the population, like unironically?
Yeah. God. Yeah.
Which is
I think it's very. This black nationalist movement is so annoying because, especially because they call themselves the new Black Panthers too. Because like, it makes a lot of leftists not realize like what they're actually standing for, and they're suddenly like standing for a fucking unironic black nationalist ethnostatist group. Like just because they see black people holding guns and they're like, hell yeah, kings, go for it, and they don't do any further research, and they're just like, I've seen this on Twitter. People retweeting like black nationalists because they think that they're Black Panthers. They think that they're like
hell
socialists.
yeah. They're like like because they don't like. I guess they don't look into it all the way. It's like hell yeah. I fucking love black people, and I love that black people are trying to, you know, doing this and like standing up for themselves and make their own communities and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's like
do you
really though?
It's funny. Yeah, they don't. I mean, it's a simple mistake to make, I guess, but. Yeah. It's just funny. And I think that a lot of the media attention that they get is like, ironically, these news stations do compare them to the to the old Black Panthers, or I just want to call them the Black Panthers because they're the only ones that I care about. But anyway, like news stations will compare these activists, quote unquote, to Black Panthers of the past, and I'm like, oh my god, that just kills the image of these fucking Black Panthers.
The reason why this black militia is in Kentucky, right, is because they're for Breonna Taylor, right?
Right.
So they're there for a good cause, right? And that's what's kind of tricky. It's like they're there for a good reason, right? I think we all believe that Breonna Taylor should receive justice, right?
Yeah. But they're not out there for Breonna Taylor because they are like fighting for justice and equality. They're doing it because like she's black and that's it. It's virtue signaling for them. In the same way that like whenever a white person brings up like Michael Shaver, like, oh, what about this guy? As if they expect you not to say like, I think that's wrong too. Like they're literally the total like reflection over the axis of a white nationalist. Like all of the same arguments that white nationalists make, black nationalists make the exact same ones, just a different skin tone, quite literally. Yeah. And it's horrible.
Yeah, and I think it's so annoying that like what a lot of white nationalists, conservative people on the right, what they like doing is like they'll say, "Oh, why do you think about black people so poorly?" It's like you're racist. Like you don't think like that black people can't do anything in America, and you're actually the racist.
The bigotry of low expectations.
Yeah, it's because these people don't even believe in systematic racism, or they don't believe in things like white privilege. It's like, so that's where like is where you need to start the conversation every time to people like this.
You have to take 20 steps back first.
Yeah, because
they don't have the same assumptions as we do.
Yeah, there's a lot of fundamentals that they're missing, and that's why they're like making these conclusions. Yeah. And it's so ridiculous. Like someone unironically said that to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said you're the racist one. You think like black people like can't do anything in this country? It's like, oh my god! Like when I read that, dude, my brain melted, and it felt like dripping out of my ear.
Yeah, but that happens to me a lot when I don't. This doesn't happen much anymore because Corona is taking over the news. But remember when people used to argue over voter ID laws so much? Like that was a huge thing for a long time. Like that argument came up a lot on Twitter and stuff. Like people would be like, "Oh, Dougley, you're the racist one because you believe that black people can't go get IDs." I just literally wanted to fucking die.
Yeah, it's so annoying. Yeah, it's because like to take basically you have to explain this whole thing to them, and it's hard because like if you simply refuse, like, all right, like, I'm not gonna cover up your misconceptions on this thing, I'm just gonna, you can move along if you want to ask any other questions, right? Because it feels like you're sidestepping like the issue, right? And it's
for
like
someone looking in, it looks like you're refusing to answer, but in reality, it would take an hour and a half to teach them all of the fucking things that you need to teach them to do.
It's fucked though, because it makes you look like you're losing, like you've lost and you conceded, right? And like you're gonna wanna, but you really shouldn't, and it's not fucking worth it.
Yep. Yeah, because it's not in good faith. Like, they're not there to learn. When someone says that, they're not taking your arguments seriously. So why waste your breath?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but we still wish Breonna Taylor. We wish for her to receive justice, but you also realize that there's people who are black nationalists who are pushing these agendas, and it's becoming a lot popular, as you can see. There's a lot of news with QAnon, Nick Cannon, etc.
Just like we talked about with Nick Cannon, they find a thing that everyone agrees with, just like Breonna Taylor. Like pretty much every black person agrees. Like Breonna Taylor was murdered by a racist system that killed her, and then the new Black Panthers will step in and be like, and here's the answer. And like our job as leftists is to find the people who haven't figured out what the answer to all this shit is yet and tell them the actual truth instead of letting them fall prey to, fascists and black nationalists and even white nationalists, regardless of who it is.
Yep. The only thing you can do for people who like are clueless or are totally disingenuous is that you can just like point them in the right direction, and all they have to do left is just research, and like that's the only thing they can really do. Like it's so hard to change someone's mind, but you can plant the seeds of doubt.
Yeah,
that's all you can really do.
Exactly. Yeah, and also like you can humiliate them in front of other people as well. That works.
Online,
but like if it's just one-on-one, like you're not gaining anything.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You're gaining nothing.
Exactly. There has to be a purpose, because if you humiliate someone in front of other people, that actually does work.
Yeah, like, that does something, because then they'll stop that fucking behavior. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, pick your battles. That's the key to this. But I wanted to talk about like the ultimate culmination of all of this weird like Fed cop shit where people are getting arrested and kidnapped and stuff. So there's this bill that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is putting forth, requiring all federal agents to identify themselves while on duty. And now, David, I don't know about you, but when I saw this, I thought to myself, wow, it's kind of weird that wasn't already a thing. Yeah. Don't you think? So
yeah, it is weird. I think, but this didn't this bill fail to pass?
I'm actually not sure. I think I put this on the agenda a couple days ago.
I might be thinking of the Pentagon one, which other things, including the Pentagon, we're gonna be talking about soon. But yeah, I think that was also the when she was either leaving, right? The representative Ted Yoho made
Ted Yoho, yeah. In AOC News, he called her a fucking bitch. Yeah. And she gave an amazing 10-minute speech, by the way. I don't know if you heard or saw this.
No, I haven't heard it, but I did see something about it.
Yeah, she gave a great speech on the floor of the House or the Senate, I'm not sure which, where she basically talked shit about Ted Yoho, saying like, yeah, like this guy's a little pussy and he called me a fucking bitch, but I don't really give a shit because I'm a queen. And it was a sick speech. Like, actually, though, I recommend everyone go watch it. I'm sure it's on her Twitter. But yeah, and I think Ted Yoho got removed from like a Christian charity. Yeah. He resigned from, which is funny. I mean, he'll face no official consequences, of course, because the House is a sexist organization. But I thought the AOC's comments were really funny and pretty queen-like, if I have to say so myself.
Yeah, I don't know why like he even got so triggered, because I think the reason why like she was like talking about that day was like implying that poverty has to do something with the rising crime in New York. Yeah, which is
such an obvious point. By the way.
Yeah, and like, you fucking communist bitch, I guess. You know, it's like.
Yeah, because of course his whole point is that like, no, these people need to take responsibility, and Ocasio-Cortez is saying no, of course not. Like, the reason these people commit crimes is because we refuse to act, to help alleviate their impoverished situation. And that's when he fucking speaks up and he's like, you fucking bitch, you're not supposed to say the quiet part out loud, you stupid ass whore.
Bitch. Yeah.
Funny. I don't understand how these old
Florida
fucking people
representative.
Yeah. Yeah, which is great.
Fuck my state, dude.
True. Your state is one of the worst. No cap.
It is the worst. The worst.
If not the worst. I think Mississippi slightly worse, but other than that, Florida is definitely 49 out of 50.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. For sure.
God.
No offense, man. I hope that doesn't
No, I mean, I don't care, dude. I don't care.
You're a New York boy anyway.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
City boy.
Wait, that's why we named our podcast Left in the South, because man, we're left out here.
We're literally stuck. Well, not only are we leftists that reside in the South, but we are actually stuck in here due to our financial situation.
Exactly.
So it's not that we can even fucking leave. If we
you're not supposed to bring that up, you fucking bitch.
You fucking whore.
Sure.
But I think what I want to talk about finally though is that, Caleb, aliens are fucking real, dude.
They're not.
Yes, aliens are real. So basically what I'm talking about is there was a recent article that came out, and here's the article title. Pentagon has off-world vehicles not made on this earth. And if that doesn't make you jump to the thinking aliens are fucking real, I don't know what was. So basically, this is also in reference to something we talked about way back.
I think it was last year.
Some of the first, in like 29, maybe some of the first episodes of this podcast, we were talking about some of the footage that is being talked about. It's still fucking today. And, they're saying that the Pentagon has, this is, here, an astrophysicist who consulted on the UF program confirms that the government possesses materials from off-world vehicles not made on this earth.
Wait. What?
Yeah.
How can they confirm that? What?
I don't know. I guess he's saying that. I guess maybe someone came to him, asked him, and he said, "Fuck yeah, hell yeah." I don't know, but this is huge. I know there's been a lot of alien things, and I have a little theory as always when I hear news this fucking crazy. I'm always coming up with some like crazy shit.
Yeah, I really don't think it's aliens, but this shit is so fascinating to me because like they obviously don't know what it is, like or at least if they do, it's a very like a well kept secret because. Like there's dozens or hundreds of people. There's government officials, including like senators, who are saying things like, "We need to figure out what this is." So like, if we do know what it is, only a few people do. So like, I want to know what the fuck this thing is.
Yeah, and so my theory too is that this is kind of like something that's been going on for like a while. The clip that we're talking about, I think, was something that was recorded in like 2014. So it's been going on for a bit.
2015, I think.
So
years.
So. What I'm thinking, here's what I'm thinking, right, is that, Donald Trump, first thing Donald Trump is like, all right, are aliens real? And he's like, well, that's a loaded question, sir. and fucking, they discuss about the off-road vehicle that they have locked up in the fucking, like, Area 51. And Donald Trump's like, well, he hears that. He's like, he's like, this is a very serious issue. What we need to do now is make a new military branch known as the Space Force.
Oh my God.
And we need to protect from intergalactic enemies that might be out there, and that's why we have the fucking Space Force, dude.
Oh my God, that actually lines up because if the video was taken in 2015 and it was only declassified in 2019, then there's a chance that in 2016, when Trump was elected, that was one of the things that they briefed him on, like when he came into office. Because obviously, like when a new president comes into office, they have to brief them on all the classified shit that the last president knew about. Just so that they can deal with it. I wonder if that's one of the things they told him about.
Dude, and that's why we have a fucking Space Force, dude. We got to prepare for the upcoming alien armada. Because listen, if we're getting these off-road vehicles, there's only two ways that we've obtained this off-road vehicle. It's not like the aliens fucking landed and like, all right, here you go, boys. A little early birthday gift, right? No, we either shot it down or they crashed.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But don't you think if they like crashed or we shot it down, like people would know about it though?
I don't know. Would they?
Yeah, because
there's
like
so
enthusiasts.
many. There's it's a tactic. Also, is like there's so many like false like things about like the Roswell alien crashes and just like there's lots of like stuff like that. So there's already like. When you hear about like, oh, there was an aliens, nah, dude. People
it's just a government. It's just a government fucking test.
So like,
but I mean, it probably is though. That's the thing.
Who knows, man? Yeah, it's probably like some like
because like every time
Chinese,
something like this,
thing, and like it's so advanced that
Yeah, we literally just don't even know what it is yet. It seems like every time that happens, like in the past, like Roswell and shit or whatever that's called, I forget. But like it seems like every time people are like, dude, it's fucking aliens, and then like 60 years later, we're like, oh no, it was just the CIA, and they like tortured people in a fucking jungle, and they used like new technology that no one had ever seen to do it.
LSD and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But who knows, man? I mean, if aliens are real, dude, I can only imagine what's on the docket for 2020. I'm hoping that magic's also gonna be real sometime soon. Because that would be pretty fucking cool.
Do you want like Harry Potter magic or like?
I'm trying to like some like D&D fantasy magic type shit. I'm trying to like cast rituals. Fucking speak language of power. Type shit.
Yeah.
Man.
That's what I was thinking too. I feel like Harry Potter magic is kind of fucking lame. Like I'm thinking like the kind of magic where you have to like kill a kid and drink its blood, and then like summon a demon. Like that kind of magic,
and then kill the demon to like get the demon powers
to gain its power, or as a slave or whatever. Yeah, type shit.
So look out for August magic coming soon in the next patch.
Yeah,
but God, I mean, do you think? I mean, are you skeptical? What do you think?
I'm skeptical that there's not. I feel like someone knows. It's kind of like the Dr. Disrespect.
Who knows, dude?
Like someone knows, dude.
And it
just hasn't leaked yet. That's the thing. Like it's obviously a government secret. They declassified it. But if they declassified it, I think we talked about this like a year ago, and I said the same thing. If they declassified it, it means that they already know what it is and they don't care. Because if they knew what it was and it was aliens, they wouldn't have released it. I definitely said this like 8 months ago.
Probably.
I'm having deja vu.
But it's new alien shit now, so it's a new alien discussion.
Yeah. I'm just interested to see, like, I think Grunt brought this up when we were talking about it with him, but like how shitty the cameras are. Like it reminds me of like Blair Witch Project, where you're like, oh God, that's so scary because I can't see and I don't know what the fuck's going on. Like, what if it's just a bird?
Yeah, no, but do you think they're putting like 10? I mean, we know it's not a bird though. Because of like how like fast it was going and it went like
because of how they described it,
and like it wasn't like physics, regular physics like wasn't applying to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, do you think they're putting 1080p like 60 FPS cameras on these jets though?
No, obviously not.
Because I feel like that wouldn't be useful for what these jets are supposed to be doing, right?
No, but it's just like if they wanted to actually find UFOs, they would put
just send us a picture, bro. Like, just give me a pic.
1080p, dude. He could literally, the jet pilot could take his iPhone out and take a better picture of the UFO with his iPhone than he can with the fucking IR sensor on the jet. Am I crazy or is that true?
I mean, he was probably like pogging out when it was happening. I don't know if he was like thinking about that.
No, probably not. Just trying not to pass out. I don't know how jets work. I'm just assuming it's a constant struggle.
Oh yeah, I mean that shit's basically magic to me.
Yeah, there you go, David. 2020, it's looking good for you. Magic. It's looking
Magic's
good.
real. Aliens are real.
Yep.
And you know what's even more real?
What?
Our sponsor for today's episode, Skillshare. No. But what's more real?
I hate that.
Is the ending to this podcast.
Yes, sir.
I had a wonderful time talking with you.
I did too. I liked our new format. I think it worked.
So, and that's another episode of the Left in the Self podcast, episode 27. Goodbye.
Bye.